Hi folks, my name is Don Gardenier and I'm President and CEO of Gardenier Inc. Today's presentation is brought to you by Own San Diego Real Estate and by San Diego First Time Homebuyer Programs. All right, what would you say if I told you that you're being misled as you search on Zillow and Redfin and Trulia and all these different websites, that many of the listings that are being presented to you are not actually available to be purchased? It seems like it's a conspiracy theory, like the movie where perhaps, somebody's a little bit, maybe not all quite there. But like the movie, it also turns out that it's true. And what you're going to find is that about 4 out of 5 of the listings that you find on these larger websites are many times not for sale at all, and that what you thought you were looking at isn't what you were really looking at. So let's go ahead and show you and give you an example so that you can understand what's going on, and then at the very end we'll also give you a solution. Let's start with a simple search. We're going to search in Ramona, California, $300,000 to $310,000. That's a pretty reasonable search. We've kept the search price within $10,000 simply so that we don't have too many results that we're overwhelmed with the number of results. Let's go ahead and click search. And we find 13 homes that are for sale between $300,000 and $310,000. That's pretty exciting. If you were looking for to purchase in Ramona, then in this example you would have 13 houses to look at, and that's not bad. I mean, certainly 13 houses is enough that you should be able to find a house to purchase. So what's the quarrel? What's the issue then if we've got 13 properties? Well, to answer that question, let's go on over to the Sandicor website. Sandicor is the real MLS. It's what the real estate agents use. Listing agents input their listings onto the MLS through Sandicor, and then all other websites get their data from Sandicor if they're going to be listing a house that's in San Diego. All right, so we're going to do the same search. 92065 is Ramona. 300 to 310,000, same thing as we were looking at just a little while ago. But instead of 13 properties, my goodness, we only have 3 properties. And that should be concerning to you because you're spending a lot of time looking for a house. You've got the dream of home ownership. You're working hard towards that home ownership. But some crazy guy on the YouTube video is telling you that most of the properties that you're looking at for sale aren't really for sale. Certainly, many of you are thinking that I must be wrong. Unfortunately, I'm not, though. And it's not that Zillow and Trulia and Redfin and all these other websites are doing something wrong. It's not that they're saying something wrong. It's just that they're not giving you perhaps the complete picture. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's go back over here one more time and let's change our search results. Currently, I'm looking for active listings. If you were a buyer, that's what you would want to look for. Houses that are currently for sale, that are currently looking, they're actively soliciting offers. But there's more than one status of house which is for sale. There's also contingent, and there's also pending. Contingent and pending are houses that are for sale, but that are no longer accepting offers. It's a technicality, I agree. But it's one that's being exploited to make you feel like you're getting a better value and to use those larger websites. So now we see there's 10 different properties, and out of those 10, 3 are active, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are contingent, and 2 are pending. If we look at it again to give a little bit better description, active is actively seeking offers. They will accept your offer. Pending, for the listing agent to put a property into pending on a Sandicor website, on the Sandicor MLS, then all documentation must be signed by both parties. The purchase contract, all of the purchase information must be signed by the buyer and the seller. But sometimes in unique situations, and so obviously, by the way, on these pending, so obviously they're not accepting any offers anymore. They're in escrow, right? This house is going to be sold very soon. Now, on contingent, sometimes there's unique property sales, such as a short sale or a foreclosure, where the seller has already agreed to an offer verbally, but they haven't completed all the paperwork yet. They're not looking for offers anymore. but they're not allowed to put it into the pending status yet because there's a piece of documentation missing. And so Sandicor provided the listing agents with the ability to tell the buyer's agents, and don't bother bringing any offers. We're not ready to put it into pending yet. We're missing a few things, but the seller doesn't want to look at any more offers. They've got an offer that meets or beats their expectations. So you can imagine that really out of these 10 properties, only 3 of them have the availability for you to make an offer on. The issue, of course, is that you're not given the ability to search like this on any of the websites that are out there. Because you don't have the ability to search, you're thinking that you're seeing all kinds of properties that are for sale, and certainly all of these properties are for sale. None of them have been sold yet. It's just that you're not getting the data that you thought you were. You're not getting the houses that are currently looking for offers. Well, before we go on to some more issues where there's surprisingly enough, there's other ways that they can trick you, let's just go in and see whether or not what we're saying is true. We're back here to Trulia where we made an initial search. We're going to click on this one called Hereford. Actually, we don't even need to, yeah, we do. We're going to click on Hereford Drive. Over here, if we look for Hereford, it's down here and it shows that it's pending. Over here, when we click, it shows that it's for sale, indicating that you should contact these agents and ask them for more information. The MLS number is right here, ending in 062. And again, as we come back over here, there it is. It is pending. You can't make an offer on this house. Now we're going to go on over and take a look at a couple more. Let's take a look at this one on Vista Ramona. Vista Ramona has an MLS number that ends in 875. Of course, it says it's for sale. And Vista Ramona is our first one, 875. In this case, it's one of the active listings. We'll go on down. Let's go down a little bit here. Let's say that we're going to go Oak Meadow. And we see we've got a 439. We find Oak Meadow on here. 439, it's contingent. So you can see that what I'm saying really is true. You're finding all kinds of results on your Trulias and your Redfins and so on and so forth. You're asking all kinds of information and running out looking at all these different houses, only to find out, unfortunately, that the houses that you were looking at were never really for sale. They were just used as a way to make money. So you ask, how in the world are they making money, Don? It doesn't make any sense. Well, the answer is simple. Over here on the side, most of the time, for some reason it's not showing on this particular moment, is a picture of a real estate agent and a little contact me button. Almost every time that you click on one of these, it's also there. For example, we'll click on this Hereford Drive. So Hereford Drive, if you remember, was one of the ones that we said it was pending. It's not even for sale. But if you click and you call this person, what you're going to find is that they're going to tell you, oh, I'm sorry, that property is no longer available, but let me show you another. And this agent will have paid Trulia a referral fee, a fee for getting your referral information so that they can try to sell you a house. Is there anything wrong with it? No, absolutely not. The truth is that it's a great way to get in touch with buyers who are looking to buy a house. There's nothing wrong with that. The issue that I have with it and why we're making this video is because so many buyers are searching for houses that are listed and presented in a way that it seems like they're for sale, but in reality they're not for sale. It should be pointed out again, it's not the agents on the side over here that are doing this. These are good, honest, hardworking agents who deserve your respect and support. What we're talking about is the programs themselves, the Zillows, the Trulias, the Redfins, who choose to list these things for the simple purpose of trying to get your information, your interest, pass that along for a fee, knowing that in fact they currently weren't available for sale. Now let's look down the page a little bit further because there's even more ways that they trick you. Take a look down here under, down at the very bottom, we've got more properties. If you remember, we only had 3 properties that were active over here, but over here we had 13 properties. So what's the difference? Well, part of those are these ones that are down here in red. And you might have noticed up here that all of these had pictures. A real estate agent went out, they took a picture of the house, and they said, wow, you know what, the seller of the house said, I want to list this house, and the real estate agent took a picture and he listed the house on the MLS, and that was one of the houses that was for sale. It might still be active, it might be pending, or it might be contingent. But down here now, we see these, there's no pictures of the house, there's just these aerial photos that they pulled off of Google. Well, these houses aren't for sale at all. It's not that they're active or contingent or pending, these just aren't for sale. Let's talk about them so you understand what's going on, because they're trying to trick you and there's no reason to be tricked. It's a simple explanation. As we look at the first one, we've got foreclosure, bank owned. The second one, we have pre-foreclosure, notice of default. And the third one is not showing right now. There's another one, it either says pre-foreclosure or foreclosure, and then in here it says auction. It's 3 different statuses of advertising. That's all it is. They're just trying to get your information so they can make a profit. So as we look at that, what do they mean? Well, let's start with this one called pre-foreclosure notice of default. All it means is that these people fell behind on their payment, and that the bank sent them a letter and said, hey, you got to make your payment, man. If you don't make your payment, we're gonna foreclose on you. They're still a long way off usually from foreclosure, but the point is that they're in what we call pre-foreclosure in the real estate industry. The houses aren't for sale. Some real estate agents like to get these listings. They like to get this information so that they can go down and talk to the people about listing the house as a real listing, either for sale or as a short sale. Having said that, at this point, no one has got the listing. It's just hanging out there and the person's behind. There's no way that you as a buyer can do anything about this house. Now, we've got foreclosure. The next one would be right in between. It's the one that we're missing. Foreclosure, but it says auction. If that one was there and it said auction, and they don't have one on this particular page, that one would mean that we're a little bit further along on this pre-foreclosure. Now we're to the point where the bank said, hey man, you still haven't paid me, and we're going to sell your house on X date, you know, a month off in the future or something like that. And we're going to auction it off on the county courthouse steps if you don't bring your account current. And so it really, again, is nothing that helps you unless you are a person who wants to go down and bid on it on the county courthouse steps. It's all cash. You've got to take a cashier's check down there at the time that you go down. And you go on down there, you bid with everybody else, and very exciting, but just keep in mind that the best place to get the listings, if you will, the advertisements for the houses that are going to be sold is right from the county of San Diego. They've got, it's right on their website. You can go in and get a link and find out all the houses that are going to be sold. All right, and the last one is this foreclosure, the one that says bank owned. We started off on pre-foreclosure where they said, hey, you're late, man. We're going to foreclose on your house if you don't bring your account current. Then we had that middle one that said auction, and they said, hey, you still haven't paid us. We're going to auction your house if you don't pay us. And the third step that the county goes through is the actual sale at that auction. If nobody bought the house, or if somebody tried to buy the house but they didn't bid enough, they didn't meet a reserve, then the bank takes the house back and it becomes a bank-owned foreclosure. Now, this confuses people a lot of the time because they're on here, they see this, they get so excited, oh, a bank-owned foreclosure, I can go and I can make an offer on this. You can't. If it was actually listed, it would have shown up in our listings. This house has been foreclosed upon by the bank, but they just have not taken it as far as to list it yet. They might have just got it yesterday or last week or last month or the month before. It takes a couple of months to get them listed. Or it could be that they have so many foreclosures in that neighborhood that they're just not going to add another one to the neighborhood because they're worried about driving the price down. The point that I want to make is you can't make an offer. There is no way to make an offer on it. It would be unethical, and the bank would fail in its fiduciary responsibilities to the investor if they were to allow you to buy this house without listing it. We get the question lots and lots of times from buyers, oh, I was driving down the street and I saw that they just foreclosed upon this house. It's not listed yet. Can I make an offer on it? Can I steal that away before everyone else makes an offer? The answer is no, the bank will always list that house, because to do anything other would harm their investor, and the bank could be held liable for that. At some point, the bank will put it on the MLS, and when they put it on the MLS with an agent, then you can make an offer on it like all of the other people out there. So it's probably not the answer that you wanted. You were probably looking for that secret way of getting that listing, getting that house. But I think just as important, at least you know the truth and you're not being led around by a bunch of stories of this or that. All right, so I told you that I would give you a solution that will allow you to overcome all of this. Obviously, what you want is the ability to try to search on a website where in fact you're not coming up with 13 listings when only 3 of them were actually available to you. The answer is going to come to you at our website, Own San Diego Real Estate. We have the most advanced IDX out there on the web. It is a fantastic home search functionality. We're going to do a second video on how to use it, but right now I just want to show you that if you were to go in, for example, to Ramona, you could type the zip code here, or you could just click on Ramona. If you were to go into Ramona and you were to say that same search, 300,000, I think, 300 to 310,000 in Ramona, then up here we show that it's got 3 results. Clicking on it, here are the 3 results that are available. You might have noticed that when we were on the search results on the map, it was too late to scroll back out. When we were on the search results, it wasn't really showing that 3rd property, and that was because it was no address on it. But they all are there, and you can take a look at them easily by clicking in and seeing 1, 2, 3. And is a fantastic way of looking at only active properties. Again, what we've done here, as we look at it, clicking on the home search, we're going to go in, we're going to click on the city that we're interested in, we're going to put in the price that we're interested in to narrow this down, in this case 300,000 through 310,000, and we're going to see our 3 properties that are available, the same 3 that were in Sandicor. You have other ways of zooming or of filtering out the different criteria, but having said that, you at least see that while it's not as exciting as it was over there on these other websites where there were all of those properties out there, at least as you're looking at the properties that are there, you're going to find that those properties they're available. You can actually make an offer and you might have a chance of getting them. Okay, look for our next video, which is going to go into how to use the IDX solution on our website. We'll show you ways of searching that are so much better than the way that you're doing it now. It will help you to be so much more successful. Make sure to drop down to, oh, by the way, how to get to our website? Very simple. You're going to go to www.sd4u.com. That's going to take you to this blue page, San Diego 4U, easy to type, easy to remember, sd4u.com. And then just click on this great big white button, Own San Diego Real Estate. From there, you already saw where we've got the home search. You don't need to use any of these subdirectories, just click on the home search to use it. Additionally, you're going to, down at the bottom, find a place where we encourage you to leave comments about how we're doing to educate and help you in your search for homes. Also, you've got a button here that will allow you to go to our Facebook page and like us. We have amazing articles on our Facebook page to help buyers and sellers in this very, very confusing market. So make sure to go in on our Facebook page and like us, read those articles, and follow as we go forward. And then additionally, we've got the most amazing calculator. And when I tell people that, they smile and say, yeah, what could be amazing about a calculator? We also have a video on the calculator as well. There's a link to it on our Facebook page. It's on YouTube as well. It truly is the calculator you need to be using. It gives you a complete payment, principal, interest, tax, insurance, and everything else. It lets you find out how much of a house you could buy if you wanted, for example, a $1,600 month payment. It includes examples of how down payment assistance works. all kinds of information out there on the calculator to help you in your quest. Again, my name is Don Gardenier, and I am President and CEO of Gardenier Inc. It's been our pleasure today to provide this video to you, and we really do ask that if you have a moment, stop in, give us some feedback, drop into our Facebook page, and make sure to give us some feedback there as well. Thank you so much.